invested in this plant through us having to pay higher prices for our electricity. What is the explanation for this? Why is this happening? Well, I think we need to do that classic thing, and we need to follow the money. It's always the case with this government, isn't it? They're not working for the people, they're working for their mates in the city. Now, I've already mentioned that the money from here is going to be the finance for this development, which isn't going to happen, so we're going to stop it. But anyway, if it were to go ahead, the money will be coming from a couple of Chinese companies. Now, it's quite possible, in my view, that what's really going on here is this is some sort of sweetener for getting the Chinese to bring their financial dealings into the City of London. I said that right at the beginning when this was first proposed, and a couple of weeks ago, surprise, surprise, the Chinese have decided they're going to do their foreign exchange transactions through London and not through Frankfurt. It may be that that's what this is all about. It's all about the cash, after all. Our kids are going to die, so their friends in the city can make more cash. That's the cynical behaviour of this government. It's the same old story, it's the same story that we have with the financial crisis. Bail out the banks and we carry the cost. They socialise the risks and privatise the profits. It's exactly what's happening again with the nuclear industry, and we're not going to stand for it here in the southwest. We've had enough of being treated like second-class citizens. We've had enough of people turning up in their suits, in their helicopters, coming to sort of look down at us as we suffer from the floods that are a consequence of their disastrous refusal to deal with climate change properly. We are tired of being the victims of other people's bad policies that don't serve our interests. Well, actually, in spite of the fact that the media story was David Cameron decides to put a nuclear power station here and it's going to happen, the real politics of this is that the European Commission gets to make a decision on whether this level of subsidy is reasonable. Now, for once here, the market is going to work in our favour, because they are checking out that it's actually fair competition, that actually other companies have a fair chance to compete with the generation that's happening here. And their first bite at that cherry, when they reported in January, they said, no, it doesn't look like it's fair. It looks like there's far too much. This was the upper estimate. This is their figure for the upper estimate of the amount of bill payers' money that's going to go in if we have this Hinkley power station over the 35 years that it'll be generating electricity at this fixed, very high price. The European Commission has actually said that their first estimate is that's very high and it isn't justified, and they closed their consultation on that on Monday. We put in a submission and we said no, it's absolutely not fair. What it's doing is distorting the electricity market against the renewable providers, where we already have an advantage here in the southwest. We're way ahead of the rest of the country in terms of renewables. That's where our future is. That's where the jobs really are. That's generating safe, clean electricity, and that's what we need to have support for. And that will be completely undermined if we allow Hinkley to go ahead. So I've come here today as the Green Party. I'm standing in the election, the European election. I want you to vote for me on the 22nd of May, and the reason I want you to vote for me is because I want more people in that parliament who are completely opposed to nuclear and who will fight to stop nuclear coming back in Europe. In other countries, anti-nuclear feeling is strong. The German Greens are very powerful on their own government, also in the European Union. But we need more anti-nuclear voices from Britain, and particularly from the southwest, where the first of these new power stations are threatened. Green MEP Jean Lambert has got the pressure on in the European Parliament. Caroline Lucas has already raised a question saying we shouldn't have a contract agreed before state aid determination has been made, because what they can do is agree a deal with these companies, and then if the European Union says no, that's not an acceptable deal, then it looks like Europe is the bad guys. So, you know, we're working at every level to try to stop this from happening. We're raising the profile in the media. You can see that happening today. Thank you for your contribution to that. It's brilliant to see them both here, ITV and BBC. It was just a year ago today that Caroline asked that question and tried to stop the contract going ahead. Since then, we've been fighting at every level we can to stop this disaster happening at Hinkley. And we need to spread that word. We need to tell people what a terrible deal it is for the taxpayer. We need to warn them against the health effects. And we need to get the sort of public debate that we've seen in Germany that has got people to turn their backs on nuclear. We can make that happen. We can stop Hinkley being built. We can stop that pollution affecting our children. Thank you for coming today. Please join with me in making this campaign a success.